Okay, let's start with amphibolic pathway now. Respiration is also called as amphibolic pathway because respiration involves both catabolism and anabolism. So catabolism is the breakdown of substrates, whereas anabolism is the synthesis of some biochemicals or synthesis of complex substances from simpler substances. So let's see the catabolism first and then I'll explain you about anabolism. So, the respiratory substrates, there are different types of respiratory substrates like carbohydrates. These respiratory substrates that undergo catabolism or breakdown through respiration can be carbohydrates, proteins and fats. They can be carbohydrates, fats and they can be proteins. So now let's study the breakdown of carbohydrates first. So carbohydrates, stored form of carbohydrates undergo breakdown into glucose. Now this glucose enters into the glycolytic pathway, that is glycolysis. Respiratory pathway, first pathway of aerobic respiration, that is glycolysis. So aerobic respiration involves glycolysis, link reaction, Krebs cycle. So it enters into first pathway, that is glycolysis. So during glycolysis, through a series of reactions, this glucose will be converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Now this fructose 1,6-bisphosphate undergoes cleavage into DHAP, that is dihydroxyacetone phosphate, and 3-PGAL, 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde. Now this 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde and dihydroxyacetone phosphate are interconvertible isomers. They are interconvertible isomers. Now this 3-PGAL, it undergoes through a series of reactions resulting in the formation of pyruvic acid. So by the end of glycolysis, one molecule of glucose results in the formation of two molecules of pyruvic acid. We already studied all these steps. So now this pyruvic acid enters into mitochondrial matrix where it undergoes oxidative decarboxylation, which is also called as link reaction, by the end of which acetyl coenzyme A is formed. So what is this link reaction? This is the second step of aerobic respiration. Link reaction, which is the second step of aerobic respiration. Now this acetyl coenzyme A undergoes Krebs cycle, breakdown through, it enters into cyclic pathway, that is Krebs cycle. Through which it undergoes complete breakdown into carbon dioxide, water and energy, which is released in the form of ATP, NADH2 and FADH2. We already discussed all these things. Now, so this is about the breakdown of carbohydrates, how they enter into respiratory pathway. Now coming to fats. So fats undergo breakdown into fatty acids and glycerol. Plus glycerol is formed. This glycerol undergoes conversion into DHAP. So in the form of DHAP, it enters into glycolytic pathway. Now fatty acids undergo beta oxidation into acetyl coenzyme A. Fatty acids undergo beta oxidation, undergo conversion into acetyl coenzyme A by a pathway called beta oxidation pathway. So they enter into, fatty acids enter into what? They enter into Krebs cycle in the form of acetyl coenzyme A. That is the third step of respiratory pathway. Now coming to proteins. So these proteins are acted upon by proteases. The enzymes called proteases which undergo breakdown. These proteases causes the breakdown of proteins into amino acids. Now these amino acids undergo deamination into different types of substrates, different types of acids. Deamination is nothing but removal of amino group. So after deamination, depending upon the type of substrate formed or depending upon the type of acid formed, they enter into respiratory pathway either in the form of pyruvic acid, that is into link reaction, or in the form of acetyl coenzyme A, that is into Krebs cycle. So all these types of food substrates, whether it is fat or carbohydrate or protein, enter into respiratory pathway, can enter into respiratory pathway in the form of acetyl coenzyme A. So this acetyl coenzyme A is the meeting point of all different types of foodstuffs. So this is about the catabolism of different types of respiratory substrates. Now I will be explaining about anabolism. For that, I'll give you one simple example. So here acetyl coenzyme A is synthesized from where? From fatty acids. It has come from fatty acids. So if the cell is in need of particular type of fatty acid, the acetyl coenzyme A can be withdrawn from this respiratory pathway and it is used as precursor for the synthesis of fatty acids. So this is one example of anabolism. And now I'll be giving some more examples of anabolism. So anabolism involved in respiratory pathway. So this is the cyclic pathway of Krebs cycle. So in this cyclic pathway, what happens? We already studied during Krebs cycle. So acetyl coenzyme A undergoes condensation with oxaloacetic acid to form citric acid. Now the citric acid undergoes dehydration to form cis-aconitic acid. And cis-aconitic acid undergoes hydration and forms isocitric acid. This isocitric acid undergoes oxidation to form oxalosuccinic acid. Oxalosuccinic acid undergoes decarboxylation resulting in the formation of alpha ketoglutaric acid. Alpha ketoglutaric acid undergoes oxidative decarboxylation resulting in the formation of succinyl coenzyme A. Succinyl coenzyme A undergoes cleavage resulting in the formation of succinic acid. Succinic acid undergoes oxidation to form fumaric acid. Fumaric acid undergoes hydration resulting in the formation of malic acid. Malic acid undergoes oxidation, final step of oxidation in Krebs cycle to form oxaloacetic acid. So these are the intermediates which are formed during Krebs cycle. So among all these intermediates, some of the intermediates are withdrawn from this respiratory pathway which are used as precursors for the synthesis of other biomolecules inside the cell as per the requirement of the cell. Suppose if cell is in need of some plant hormones like gibberellins, terpenes and carotenoids, during that time acetyl coenzyme A is withdrawn from the respiratory pathway and it is used as precursor for the synthesis of gibberellins, plant hormones like gibberellins, terpenes and carotenoids. Okay, in the same way, here alpha ketoglutaric acid is there. This alpha ketoglutaric acid is a keto acid. This keto acid can be withdrawn from the respiratory pathway which is utilized as precursor for the synthesis of glutamic acid. In the chapter Mineral Nutrition also we study that keto acid undergoes transamination into amino acid. So here this keto acid called alpha ketoglutaric acid is withdrawn which is from the respiratory pathway and this undergoes transamination into glutamic acid. Amino acid called glutamic acid. Okay. Next intermediate, that is succinyl CoA. Succinyl CoA can be withdrawn from the respiratory pathway for the and it is used as precursor for the synthesis of red colored pigment called cytochrome and it is also used as precursor for the synthesis of green colored pigment called chlorophyll. So next intermediate is oxaloacetic acid. Oxaloacetic acid. Oxaloacetic acid can be withdrawn from this respiratory pathway and it is used inside the cell as precursor for the synthesis of aspartic acid, alkaloids and pyrimidines. So in this manner, different intermediates which are formed during the respiratory pathway can be withdrawn from this pathway and they can be used as precursors for the synthesis of other biomolecules inside the cell as per the requirement, as per the need of the cell. and hence this pathway is also involving synthesis along with breakdown of respiratory substrates. So it is involving anabolism along with catabolism, and hence this respiratory pathway is called as amphibolic pathway, as it involves both catabolism and anabolism. Hope you understood this concept. In the next video, I will be starting with respiratory quotient. Thank you, students.